Listen, if you're still buying these 6 grocery items in 2025, you're literally throwing money down the drain. I'm talking about items that have markups of 40%, 60%, and in some cases, over 300%. And most people have no clue they're getting ripped off. Grocery prices have skyrocketed 25% over the past 4 years. But here's the thing. Some of that pain is completely avoidable. These 6 items I'm about to show you are costing the average family thousands of extra dollars every single year. And honestly, only idiots are still falling for these grocery store traps. By the end of this video, you're going to know exactly which items to avoid and how to save serious cash on your next shopping trip. Trust me, your wallet is going to thank you for watching this. Item 1. Pre-cut fruits and vegetables. All right, let's dive into the absolute biggest grocery store scam that's hiding in plain sight. Pre-cut fruits and vegetables. And listen, I'm about to blow your mind with some numbers that'll make you question every shopping decision you've ever made. These so-called convenience items come with an average 40% markup. But here's where it gets absolutely ridiculous. In many cases, pre-cut produce costs double or even triple the price of whole items. I mean, we're talking highway robbery levels of markup here. Let me paint you a picture with a real example that happened to me just last week. I'm walking through Walmart, minding my own business, when I spot this container of pre-cut watermelon. 16 ounces for $4.58. Seems reasonable, right? Wrong, because literally 3 feet away, there's a whole watermelon sitting there for $4.27. Let me repeat that. You're paying more money for less actual fruit. It's like paying extra for someone to take food away from you. The math is so insane it hurts my brain. But wait, it gets worse. These pre-cut items spoil faster too because all that chopping and dicing exposes way more surface area to bacteria and air. So not only are you getting ripped off on price, but you're also buying food that's literally designed to go bad quicker. It's a double whammy of stupidity. You're basically paying premium prices for the privilege of throwing food in the trash sooner. And here's what really grinds my gears. The grocery stores know exactly what they're doing. They're banking on our laziness and busy schedules. They've done the research, they know people will pay extra for convenience, and they're laughing all the way to the bank. That additional labor involved in pre-cutting creates perceived value for busy consumers who will happily pay extra for a few more minutes with their families. But guys, we're talking about 5 minutes of prep work here, not performing brain surgery. Let me break down just how much this laziness tax is costing you. Say you buy pre-cut veggies twice a week for your family. That's an extra $6 to $10 per shopping trip, which adds up to over $500 a year. $500. That's a nice vacation, a car payment, or hey, maybe some actual quality food instead of overpriced convenience junk. The solution? It's embarrassingly simple. Spend one afternoon, I'm talking Sunday meal prep style, and chop up all your fruits and veggies for the week. Get some good storage containers, maybe invest in a decent knife if you don't have one, and boom! You've just saved yourself hundreds of dollars a year while getting fresher, better tasting produce that lasts longer. Plus, you know exactly how clean your cutting board is, which is more than I can say for whatever industrial facility is processing those pre-cut packages. Look, I totally get it. We're all busy. Between work, kids, life in general, who has time to stand around chopping vegetables? But here's the reality check. Those 5 minutes of prep work are worth about $100 an hour when you calculate the savings. Show me another job that pays that well for such mindless work. You can literally watch Netflix while you're doing it. Make it a family activity. Teach your kids some basic kitchen skills. Turn it into something fun instead of a chore. The bottom line is this. Every time you reach for that container of pre-cut anything, you're essentially handing the grocery store free money for the world's most expensive chopping service. And honestly, in 2025, with everything being as expensive as it is, we can't afford to be throwing money away on this kind of nonsense anymore. Item 2. Bottled water. All right, buckle up because this next item is going to absolutely infuriate you once you realize how badly you've been getting played. We're talking about bottled water. And I'm not even kidding when I say this might be the biggest consumer scam of the 21st century. Bottled water has been called the most overpriced item at grocery stores. And once you hear what I'm about to tell you, you're going to want to march right back to that store and demand a refund for every bottle you've ever bought. Here's the thing that's going to make your blood boil. Multiple scientific studies have proven that bottled water is no safer, healthier, or cleaner than what comes straight out of your kitchen tap. We're talking about the same H2O, folks. But somehow, these companies have convinced us that their plastic-wrapped tap water is worth paying 1,000 times more for. And yes, you heard that right. Tap water costs about a penny per gallon, while bottled water can cost you anywhere from $1 to $3 per bottle. That's not just a markup. That's highway robbery with a pretty label slapped on it. Let me hit you with some math that's going to make you sick to your stomach. The average American family, and I'm talking about a regular family of 4, spends between $600 to $800 every single year on bottled water. $800. Do you know what you could do with $800? That's a nice vacation, a new laptop, or heck, that's 3 months of groceries if you shop smart. But instead, we're literally pouring that money down the drain for water that's no better than what's already flowing in our homes for practically free. Now here's where it gets really crazy. A decent water filter for your faucet costs maybe $40 to $60, and the replacement filters, maybe another $30 every few months. So you're looking at spending maybe $100 total for an entire year of filtered water that tastes great and is actually cleaner than most bottled brands. That means you're saving $700 a year just by making this one simple switch. That's real money, people. But wait, it gets worse. You know what a lot of these bottled water companies are actually selling you? Tap water. I'm not making this up. Brands like Aquafina and Dasani literally take municipal tap water, run it through some basic filtration, and then sell it back to you at a 10,000% markup. It's like buying a hamburger from McDonald's, then McDonald's takes that same burger, puts it in fancier packaging, and sells it back to you for $50. Except somehow we all fell for it with water. And here's the environmental guilt trip that should keep you up at night. Every single plastic bottle you buy is contributing to a massive environmental disaster. We're talking about 60 million plastic bottles thrown away every single day in America alone. That's enough plastic bottles to circle the earth every 6 weeks. Meanwhile, you could buy one reusable bottle for maybe $15 that'll last you years, and you'd never have to feel guilty about destroying the planet while you hydrate. The really maddening part? Some of the most expensive bottled water brands are literally just selling you tap water from places like Detroit or Los Angeles. They're not even trying to hide it anymore. They just bank on the fact that people don't read the fine print on the label. So you're paying premium prices for water that might actually be lower quality than what's coming out of your own faucet right now. Here's what you need to do starting today. Invest in a good water filter system and a couple of quality reusable bottles. Your taste buds won't know the difference. Your wallet will be heavier, and you'll actually be drinking cleaner water than most of those fancy bottles provide. Plus, you'll never have to lug heavy cases of water from the store again, which honestly is reason enough to make the switch. Stop falling for this scam, people. Your bank account and the planet will thank you for it. Item 3. Store bakery items. All right, buckle up because this next one is going to absolutely blow your mind, and honestly, it might make you a little angry when you realize how you've been manipulated. We're talking about those gorgeous, Instagram-worthy bakery items that grocery stores display right up front like they're some kind of artisanal masterpiece. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Those perfectly golden croissants, those massive chocolate chip muffins that look like they came straight from a fancy cafe, and those birthday cakes with the beautiful frosting roses that cost more than your electric bill. Here's the shocking truth that grocery stores don't want you to know. These fresh-baked goodies have a gross profit margin of nearly 60%. 60%! That means for every dollar you spend on that innocent-looking blueberry muffin, the store is pocketing 60 cents in pure profit. To put that in perspective, most successful businesses are thrilled with a 10 to 15% profit margin. These bakery items are literally printing money for grocery stores, and guess who's funding that money printer? Yep, that's you. But here's where it gets really sneaky. And this is where the science comes in. You know that absolutely intoxicating smell that hits you the moment you walk past the bakery section? That warm, buttery, vanilla-scented cloud that makes your stomach growl even if you just ate? That's not some happy accident. The retail industry actually calls this sensory manipulation, pulling you in like a siren's call. And they've spent millions of dollars perfecting it. They strategically time their baking so that the smell is at its peak during the busiest shopping hours. It's psychological warfare, and your nose is the target. Let me tell you a little story that's going to make this real for you. Last month, my neighbor Sarah was telling me how she keeps blowing her grocery budget, and she couldn't figure out why. So I went shopping with her, and I watched it happen in real time. She walked into the store with a list: milk, bread, some chicken for dinner. But the second we passed that bakery section, boom. Oh my gosh, those cinnamon rolls smell amazing. I'll just grab one for tomorrow's breakfast. $4.50 later, she's got this massive cinnamon roll that's probably 800 calories and loaded with enough sugar to put a horse in a coma. Here's the math that'll make you sick. That single cinnamon roll she bought, I can make an entire batch of 12 at home for less than $5. And I'm talking about using real butter, real vanilla, organic flour. The good stuff. So while she's paying $4.50 for one sugar bomb, I'm making a dozen bakery quality treats for the same price. That's a 1,200% markup, people. 1,200%. And it gets worse. Most of these fresh-baked items aren't even made from scratch in the store. A lot of them are frozen dough products that they just pop in the oven and then mark up like they're some kind of artisanal creation. You're paying premium prices for what's essentially expensive frozen food. But here's what really gets me fired up: the health aspect. These convenience items are designed to be grabbed impulsively, which means they're loaded with preservatives, artificial flavors, and enough sugar to make your dentist rich. When you make stuff at home, you control the ingredients. You can use real vanilla instead of artificial flavoring. You can cut the sugar in half. You can add whole wheat flour. Whatever works for your family. Now, I know what you're thinking. But I don't have time to bake. Listen, I get it. Life is crazy busy. But here's my weekend game changer that saved me literally thousands of dollars over the years. Every Sunday, I spend about an hour, one single hour, doing what I call batch baking. I'll make a dozen muffins or a loaf of banana bread or some cookies for the week. My house smells incredible. My kids think I'm the coolest parent ever, and I've got fresh baked goods for the entire week at a fraction of the cost. And here's a pro tip that's going to save you even more money. Most baked goods freeze beautifully. So when I make that batch of muffins on Sunday, I'll freeze half of them. Then throughout the week, I just pop one in the microwave for 30 seconds, and boom, fresh, warm muffin that tastes like it just came out of the oven. My kids have no idea it was frozen, and I'm spending pennies instead of dollars. The bottom line is this: every time you walk past that bakery section and grab something because it smells good, you're basically handing the grocery store free money. Your nose is literally costing you hundreds, maybe thousands of dollars a year. Stop falling for the bakery department's expensive perfume, start planning ahead, and watch your grocery bill shrink while you actually eat better food. Trust me on this one. Your wallet and your waistline will thank you. Item 4. Trendy diet foods. All right, buckle up because this next one is going to absolutely blow your mind and probably make you want to throw something at your TV. We're talking about trendy diet foods, and oh my god, the markup on these things is criminal. I mean, we're living in 2025 where everyone's obsessed with keto, paleo, plant-based, whatever the latest Instagram influencer is pushing, right? And grocery stores, they are laughing all the way to the bank. Items labeled as keto, paleo, gluten-free, or plant-based are often overpriced versions of simple foods, marked up due to trendy branding. I'm not even kidding. I was at Whole Foods last week, and I saw this tiny bag of keto granola for $14.99. $14.99? For what's basically nuts and coconut flakes. The same ingredients were sitting in the bulk section for literally a third of the price. But because someone slapped keto approved on a fancy package, suddenly it's gourmet food. Here's the thing that really gets me fired up. These companies are playing psychological games with us. They know we're busy, we're stressed, and we want to feel like we're making healthy choices. So they create these beautiful packages with words like superfood and clean eating and guilt-free, and we just grab them without thinking. It's like they're charging us a stupid tax and we're happily paying it. Let me give you a real example that'll make your head spin. I found this paleo-friendly almond butter the other day. $16 for a jar. You know what was in it? Almonds. That's it. Just almonds. Regular almond butter without the fancy label. $6. Same exact ingredients, same taste, but one has a caveman on the package, so suddenly it's worth triple the price. And don't even get me started on those plant-based meat alternatives. Look, I'm not hating on people who choose plant-based diets, but some of these products cost more than actual premium beef. A pack of plant-based burgers can run you $8 to $12, when you could buy a pound of beans, some vegetables, and spices to make your own veggie burgers for like $2. Always read the ingredients. You may be able to recreate the same thing at home for a fraction of the cost. The craziest part? Most of these revolutionary diet foods are just regular ingredients mixed together. That $10 keto bread? It's almond flour, eggs, and some baking powder. That $15 paleo granola? Nuts, seeds, and honey. That $12 plant-based protein bar? Dates, nuts, and maybe some protein powder you can buy in bulk for way less. Now, listen, I want to be super clear here. If you have actual medical needs, some specialty products are necessary. If you have celiac disease and need certified gluten-free products, or if you have serious food allergies, I totally get it. Safety first, always. But if you're just following the latest diet trend because your favorite TikTok influencer said it changed their life, stop paying the lifestyle tax. The solution is embarrassingly simple. Start reading ingredient lists like they're going to be on a test tomorrow. I guarantee you'll be shocked at how basic most of these products are. Then hit up YouTube, find a 5-minute recipe, and make your own version. You'll save hundreds of dollars a year, know exactly what's going into your food, and honestly, it usually tastes better because it's fresh, and you can customize it exactly how you like it. Item 5. Gourmet coffee products. All right, coffee addicts, buckle up because this one's about to make your blood pressure spike higher than your caffeine levels. You see those fancy cold brew bottles chilling in the refrigerated section? The ones with those sleek, minimalist labels that scream, "I'm sophisticated and worth your hard-earned money"? Well, here's a reality check that's gonna sting worse than black coffee. These pre-bottled cold brews literally cost as much as walking into Starbucks and ordering from an actual barista. But plot twist, you're not getting barista quality anything. You're getting mass-produced coffee that's been sitting in a plastic bottle for who knows how long. So I got curious and did some detective work on this whole gourmet coffee scam. A single bottle of that Instagram-worthy cold brew, we're talking $4 to $6 easy. Sometimes even more if it's got some fancy organic label slapped on it. But here's where it gets absolutely ridiculous. I can make an entire pitcher of the same stuff at home for less than $2. That's not just a markup. That's highway robbery with a hipster aesthetic. And the worst part? Most of these bottles contain maybe 12 ounces of coffee. You know what I can get for $2 worth of coffee grounds? Enough cold brew to last me a week. But wait, it gets worse. Those gourmet creamers sitting right next to the cold brew? Pure marketing genius preying on our laziness. Half of these artisanal creamers are just sugar, artificial flavors, and a bunch of chemicals I can't even pronounce. But they're charging you premium prices because someone in marketing decided to call it Madagascar Vanilla Bean Swirl instead of just vanilla creamer. I've seen these things cost $5 for a tiny bottle that lasts maybe a week if you're lucky. Here's the thing that really gets me fired up about this. Making cold brew at home is incredibly easy. Like, embarrassingly easy. You literally just dump coffee grounds in water, stick it in your fridge overnight, and strain it the next morning. That's it. No special equipment, no barista training, no nothing. A 5-year-old could probably figure it out. And if you want to get fancy with flavors, make your own syrups. A little sugar, water, and whatever extract you like. Boom. You've just created that $5 creamer for about 50 cents. I actually started doing this myself about 6 months ago, And I'm not even exaggerating when I say I've probably saved over $300 already. That's real money, people. Money that could go toward, I don't know, actual food or paying bills instead of feeding some corporation's profit margins. Plus, and this might be controversial, but the coffee I make at home actually tastes better. I can control the strength, the flavor, everything. No more watery disappointment or overly sweet artificial taste. The best part? You can batch make this stuff. Spend 10 minutes on Sunday making a big pitcher of cold brew and portioning out your homemade creamers, and you're set for the entire week. Your morning routine becomes cheaper, faster, and honestly way more satisfying because you made it yourself. So next time you're tempted by those shiny bottles promising cafe-quality coffee, just remember, the only thing premium about them is the price tag they're sticking you with. Item 6. Individual spice packets. All right, number 6 is going to absolutely shock you because this scam is happening right under your nose every single time you shop. Those innocent-looking little spice containers in the grocery store? They're basically the biggest con job in the entire place. Spices have one of the biggest markups in the entire grocery store, and when I tell you how bad it is, you're going to be pissed at yourself for falling for it. Picture this. You're making tacos tonight. You need some cumin, so you grab that tiny McCormick container for $4.99. Seems reasonable, right? Wrong. That exact same amount of cumin at a Middle Eastern market costs literally 80 cents. And get this, it's fresher, more potent, and probably harvested this year instead of sitting in some warehouse since 2019. I actually tested this myself last month. I bought the same spices from 3 different places, and the grocery store version was so weak I had to use triple the amount to get any flavor. But here's the part that'll really make you mad. There are serious shelf life concerns over freshness and flavor with grocery store spices. Those pretty little jars with the perfect labels. They've been sitting on those shelves for God knows how long. Spices lose their potency after about a year, but grocery stores don't care because people keep buying them anyway. You're literally paying premium prices for what's basically flavored dust at this point. And don't even get me started on the waste factor. How many times have you bought a whole container of some exotic spice for one recipe, used like a teaspoon, and then found it buried in your cabinet 3 years later? You end up with something you use only once a year lingering and taking up valuable spice space in your cupboards. It's so wasteful and expensive. Here's what changed my cooking game completely. Check out specialty spice shops where the niche focus means freshness is key, or hit up local natural and international stores where the variety of spices may well be greater and the ability to buy in bulk and get as little or as much as you want can save you some serious coin. I found this amazing Indian grocery store near me where I can buy spices by the ounce. Need just a tablespoon of cardamom for a recipe? No problem. Want to stock up on cinnamon because you bake a lot? They've got you covered. The difference in quality is absolutely insane. When I made curry with fresh ground spices from the international market versus the old grocery store stuff, it was like comparing a gourmet restaurant meal to cafeteria food. My family actually asked what I did differently because the flavors were so much more intense and complex. Plus, with all those fresh bulk spices in your cupboards, you may just be inspired to come up with some of your own spicy blends. And here's a pro tip that'll save you even more money. Start buying whole spices instead of pre-ground when possible. Whole peppercorns, cumin seeds, coriander. They last way longer, and you can grind them fresh. Get yourself a cheap coffee grinder dedicated just to spices, and boom, you're basically running a mini spice shop in your kitchen. The grocery stores hate this one simple trick because they can't charge you $6 for a tiny container of something that costs them 30 cents to produce. All right, before we wrap this up, let me drop 3 rapid-fire tips that'll save you even more money. First, the most expensive items are always at eye level. That's no accident. Look up and down as you shop because the more affordable brands are stashed on the higher or lower shelves. Grocery stores literally bank on your laziness here. Second, download the Flash Food app right now. It's a marketplace where you can find deals on groceries at up to 50% off the retail price. We're talking about surplus items or stuff nearing expiration dates that's still perfectly good. And here's the kicker. Most generic brands are made by the exact same manufacturers as the name brands. You're literally paying extra for fancier packaging. Someone has to fund those Super Bowl commercials, and spoiler alert, it's you. Look, I just showed you how to potentially save thousands of dollars a year on groceries. So here's your homework. Go calculate how much you've been wasting on these 6 items. Seriously, add it up and drop that number in the comments because I guarantee it's going to shock you. And tell me which one of these items made you the angriest. Was it the bottled water scam or those overpriced spice packets? If this video just saved you a ton of money, smash that subscribe button because I've got way more money-saving hacks coming your way. Your bank account will literally thank you for hitting that notification bell.